Sweet children, charity begins at home. That is, first of all, give this knowledge to those who belong to the deity religion and who worship Shiva and the deities. Sweet children, charity begins at home. That is, first of all, give this knowledge to those who belong to the deity religion and who worship Shiva and the deities. So go look for Shiva devotees first. You'll have more success with them. Question. What act of the, because that means they already kind of know he can't be a human being. Well, sort of know. They think he's Shankar, but they don't really think Shankar is like a bodily being, but he is. What act of the Father can no human being carry out and why? Oh, so many.
Establishing peace.
That's the one. The act of establishing peace in the whole world is that of the one Father alone. Human beings cannot establish peace in this world because all of them
They're peaceless.
Are vicious, which therefore includes peaceless. Peace can only be established when they know the Father and become pure. Because of not knowing the Father, they have become orphans. So only the one that they can recognize as their common seed, all human beings, would be the one who could bring them back to peace. Song. To live in your lane and to die in your lane. Om Shanti. You repeatedly have to explain the meaning of Om Shanti because no one understands the meaning of Om Shanti. Similarly, you repeatedly have to say, Man Man above. That is, remember the unlimited Father. People say that the meaning of Om is God. Father says, Om means I am a soul and this is my body. See how that gets corrupted when you think God is omnipresent. The Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, also says Om. I too am a soul, the resident of the Supreme Region. You souls enter the cycle of birth and death. I do not. Yes, I certainly come in the corporeal form to explain to you, children, the essence of the beginning, middle, and end of the world. No one else can explain this. And nobody was witnessing it continuously from the Copper Age onwards. Yeah, it's maximum recordings of what happened. No one else can explain this. If you don't have this faith, then go and wander around the whole world and find out if there's anyone else who can give this knowledge of the self and the beginning, middle, and end of the world. That would be a very inefficient way to go find out that this was truth and this was God. Let's go talk to everybody else and see what they do. It all comes from this ego of, I don't know. No one apart from the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul can tell you the secrets of the beginning, middle, and end of the world cycle or teach you Raj Yoga. No one else can purify the impure. First of all, make effort to explain to those who are worshippers of the deities. Wait a minute, he said first go and explain to those who are worshippers of Shiva. Okay, you have to explain to both. Yeah? Shiva devotees as well as deity devotees. Only those who belong to the original eternal deity religion are the ones who have taken the full 84 births. They're the ones who'll be able to understand well, which makes sense as to why you don't see tons and tons of people coming into knowledge as much, because there aren't that many people who are deeply interested in doing devotion, and those are the people who would recognize Baba more easily. Those who come later cannot take 84 births. Only those who are worshippers of the deities and those who study the Gita will listen to this knowledge. In the Gita, they have just made the mistake of putting Sri Krishna's name instead of God's. Therefore, you should explain to those who read the Gita. You should ask them, what is your connection with the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul Shiva? He is called God. Sri Krishna is the one with divine virtues. He had a divine kingdom, and all the people in that kingdom had divine virtues. Now, from being worthy of worship, they have all become worshipers. Therefore, you first of all should try to uplift those who belong to the original eternal deity religion. Anyone who's come from the beginning of the cycle has the values and the feelings to recognize Shiv Baba more easily. Charity begins at home. You also have to explain to the worshippers of Shiva. So much more challenging trying to give Gyan in the West. Not that there won't be devotees, there just will be very few of them relative to Westerners. Shiva definitely does come because they celebrate his birthday. He is the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul. You must definitely come and teach your Raj Yoga. What could be more simple than that? You're celebrating the birthday of God. He must have taken birth. Hmm? No human being can teach you this. Neither Sri Krishna nor Brahma can be called God, because the bestower of salvation for all is the one Father. So whichever one you confuse him with, Krishna or Brahma, and they confuse him with both, can't do that because they're both bodily beings. Because he is the ocean of knowledge, he's also the teacher of all. No one else knows the history and geography of the beginning, middle, and end of the world. Father says, I am also called the ocean of knowledge, the living seed. This seed would have the knowledge of the beginning, middle, and end of the inverted tree. This is why I am called the ocean of knowledge, the almighty authority. What authority does he have? He knows all the Vedas, scriptures, and the Granth, etc. He explains to your children. The people who recite the scriptures say that the duration of each cycle is hundreds of thousands of years, but that cannot be so. This is the human world tree of the variety of religions. In the Bhagavad, they have written that its duration of the cycle is very long. The Bhagavad is not a religious scripture. The Gita was the religious scripture through which the deity religion was established. So Gita is the instructions of how to become pure and follow the deity religion. The Bhagavad is the details of the duration of the history of the deities. Well, the deities as well as their descendants. There is no religion established in the Mahabharata or the Bhagavad. They have just written it as the history of Sri Krishna. The father explains, children, explain to those of the deity religion that they have taken 84 births. In the Golden Age, it was just Bharat and no other religion. Only Bharat was heaven. Only Bharat is remembered as the highest of all. It is also the birthplace of Shiva, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, who comes and purifies the impure. Therefore, Shiva is worshipped here, and his birthday is also celebrated here. He must surely have come into the impure world. So why don't they celebrate his birthday in the first day of Copper Age? Why don't they celebrate it in Silver and Golden Age? Because the memory that he has to come doesn't emerge until you start invoking him to come. So there's no need. Just like, there's no need for Pluto until he's necessary. Everyone calls out, "O purifier, come." Bharat was pure, and its residents then went around the cycle of 84 births. Those who were the pure residents of heaven has now become the impure residents of hell. So this is why the two instructions are Man above, focus, learn to concentrate completely on one Baba and none other, and Madhyaji Bhav, remember all the details of the creation, the beginning, middle, and end of the creation. And you will automatically come to know that when there is an increase in self-realization. When you understand the self, you will understand the creation. When you understand Baba, you will understand the self and obviously the creation. Those who were the pure residents of heaven have now become the impure residents of hell. Shiv Baba made them pure, and then Ravan made them impure. At this time, it is
Raven's,
Hmm?
Raven's kingdom.
Ravan's kingdom. Every man and woman has the 5 vices in them. In the Golden Age, there were no vices. In the Golden Age, there were only novices. Everyone was viceless. Now they are all impure, and this is why they call out, "Come once again and purify us." In the Golden Age, we were pure. We were in the kingdom of Ram for 21 births. It is now Ravan's kingdom, and everyone is vicious. The father says, lust is the greatest enemy. That's how you know everybody's vicious. It doesn't matter if only one person is indulging in lust. Everyone's now vicious. It is now Ravan's kingdom, and everyone is vicious. The father says lust is greatest enemy. It causes sorrow from the beginning through the middle to the end. Well, as soon as you truly have realization for that, there's no effort to be celibate. It's when you don't realize that and you're just trying really hard to follow it because it sounds true. It makes sense. Or I love Baba, so I'm going to do what he says. That's not realization. Now conquer it and become pure. You've been committing sin for birth after birth. When there's realization, there's no interest in the thing that you're trying to renounce. You don't even think you have to renounce it because you don't. It's no longer inside of you. You have to become the most Tamo Pradhan of all. Alloy has been mixed into souls. At first, you were Golden Age, and you then became Silver Age, then Copper Age, then Iron. While alloy was being mixed into you, you continued to come down the ladder. This is only Bart. That's entropy. right? You're continuing to come down the ladder unless you perfect remembrance. While alloy was being mixed into you, you continue to come down the ladder. This only refers to Bharat. You take 8 births in the Golden Age, then 12 births in the Silver Age. Those same people of Bharat then become the Moon Dynasty and then the Merchant Dynasty. Souls become impure, period. Without the company and influence of God, souls become impure. Anytime, anywhere, they will become impure. This drama is predestined. The Father now explains Shiv Baba is the ocean of knowledge. Shiv is the highest on high, the one who is worthy of being worshipped by everyone. He is the one who is worshipped first. Well, first it was unadulterated worship of Shiva. He is the unlimited Father. You definitely receive the unlimited inheritance from him. The people of Bharat have forgotten that only the incorporeal one is called God. People do remember him. It isn't that all are God. Even in Bharatwasis who live in India have forgotten that God by definition has to be incorporeal. On the one hand, they remember God, and then they also defame him. Again, and I tell you, that's the same result of getting caught up in the name and form of Brahmins, which is the basis of all bhakti. If you recognize that we're Shivati, you'd at least only do unadulterated worship of Shiva. Why didn't you? Because in your Brahmin life, in the confluence age, you got interested in Brahmins. And therefore, your intellect goes to Brahmins, and those Brahmins are the same souls as the future deities. So this is where it's being sown. On the one hand, they say that he's omnipresent, and they call out, "O purifier, come." The Father only comes and explains through the body of Brahma to you Brahmins for the mouth-born creation of Brahma. So that's why we tell you, whatever you're struggling in your attachment, take a good look in your mirror, because it's you. As ugly, gross, whatever, it's you. You made a bunch of decisions to be with those people. Okay? You're just blind to why you did it. That's why you got to have self-realization, start understanding your sanskars. And Baba said the other day, look in the mirror. Right? The Father says, I come and make Bharat into heaven every cycle. When Bharat, then Ravan makes it into hell. This drama is predestined. The Father now explains, Shiv Baba is the ocean of knowledge. No point arguing and being frustrated with something that's predestined. What you're here to find out is what effort you have to make that is predestined. Discover the effort that is predestined that you have to make. The Father now explains Shiv Baba is the ocean of knowledge. Shiv is the highest and high, the one who is worthy of being worshipped by everyone. No one's worthy of being worshipped by everyone. He is the one who is worshipped first. He is the unlimited Father. You definitely receive the unlimited inheritance from him. The people of Bharat have forgotten that only the incorporeal one is called God. So to be truly a good example of soul-conscious remembrance, Brahmins should be having unadulterated remembrance of Shiva. That's so easy to understand. They know it. Even Baba tells them that. But they keep getting pulled away from Shiva into the personality sanskars of the very pure, jnani, sweet human beings. Brahmins. Well, why? Because this is what Baba means by subtle golden chains. It's not gross stuff like why you lust, anger, why you had those kind of karmas with human beings. Is because the emptiness that is still in you gets temporarily filled by the purity of Brahmins. So they're way easier to get attached to, right? And some people get so overwhelmed by that attachment, that's why they run away from Baba for a human being in great self-deception. And then Baba says they ruin their lives, they ruin their cycle. The people of Bharat have forgotten he is the unlimited Father. You definitely receive the unlimited inheritance from him. The people of Bharat have forgotten that only the incorporeal one is called God. People do remember him. It isn't that all are God. Otherwise, you have to remember everyone. On the one hand, they remember God, and then they also defame him. If God were truly omnipresent, you have to remember everyone all the time. It's not possible. No, you think, oh, I can just remember this one today and then that one tomorrow. No, you'll never have the complete experience of God if you don't remember everyone all the time, which is not possible, intellectually impossible. On the one hand, they say that he is omnipresent and they call out, "O purifier, come." Father only comes and explains through the body of Brahma to you Brahmins, who are the mouth-born creation of Brahma. You Brahmins are now the top knot. Okay, so how important is Brahma? On the basis of your recognition of Brahma Baba, you receive the inheritance through Brahma. No Brahma, no inheritance. It's not Brahma's inheritance, but can't get it without going through the agent. Shiva is above the Brahmins. In the variety form image, they portray deities, warriors, merchants, and Shudras. This is why I have so much regard for Brahma Baba. The effort he made, he did all of that to learn how to get his mind to be able to reach very far distances. And in that, we started to wake up. Now, of course, Shiva's involved, but it's Brahma Baba's effort to get to a state of constant yoga that begins to wake us up. No one's born without Brahma Baba intervening, even though you're unaware of who he is. Shiva is above the Brahmins. In the variety form image, they have portrayed deities, warriors, merchants, and Shudras. They do not mention Brahma at all, Brahmins at all, because they can see that those Brahmins are vicious. The father explains that they even sing salutations to the Brahmins who are to become deities. Well, it's not the worldly Brahmins that are becoming deities. They're not even trying to become deities. They don't even know they're supposed to become deities. No one knows accurately when it was their kingdom. Where did heaven come from? You now understand that Baba has come and he is now establishing heaven through. So how can you get a seat in first class air conditioning heaven without buying your ticket from Brahma? But what's what I love about Raj Yoga? You got to get the ticket given to you by Brahma, but you have to only remember Shiv Baba, who's giving it to you through Brahma. It's like who would understand that until you understood about the soul and the accuracy of what does it mean to remember or to forget? He inspires the destruction of hell through Shankar. There was also the Mahabharata war through which the gates of heaven were opened. They sing this, but they don't understand anything. They even show the flames of destruction emerging from the sacrificial fire of the knowledge of Rudra. That part is truly being enacted now. The war took place 5,000 years ago, and the impure world was also destroyed then. When they relate the knowledge of the Gita, they say that there were three armies, the Yadavas, the residents of Europe, who invented the missiles through science. The Gita was spoken 5,000 years ago. The father explains that these three armies exist even now. He didn't mention the others, but Pandavas and Kauravas, obviously. It is sung, there are those who have non-loving intellects at the time of destruction. That's the Kauravas and the Yadavas. Kauravas are too busy hating the Pandavas, and the Yadavas are too busy wanting to push the envelope leading to the destruction of the world. Their intention isn't to destroy the world. They're just so impressed with the ego of their intellects that they don't realize that the things they're inventing are going to destroy the world. Both are in a state of view. Both are separated from God, divorced from God. That is, there are those whose intellects have no love for the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul. Therefore, no love for his creation, the Pandavas. They don't understand anything at all. Apart from you, no one has any love. No one has any love. And even Brahmins only have it number-wise. How do you know that? Well, that love that's in them, that capacity to feel love, is why they recognize Baba's knowledge and are drawn to Baba through the vibrations. So because of that love, they can understand knowledge. And because of that love, they do devotion that allows them to understand knowledge. Everyone has a non-loving intellect at the time of destruction. Only you Pandavas have loving intellect. So what are you trying to do here in Raj Yoga? Remember Baba more than remember anything else, so that all the everything else's can't pull your intellect away from God at the time of destruction. So why do you keep encouraging your attachments that you have to conquer, otherwise you won't be able to remember Baba at the end? You have to demonstrate you can concentrate on him now consistently in all situations. And yet you keep willingly go into indulging attachment with somebody or someone else, or a dog or a cat or whatever. Because your consciousness is taking, even from dogs and cats. The dog and cat exist there to make me happy. Well, that's why you fail. You'll never be able to remember God. You'll remember your dog and your cat, that destruction, or your kids. Yeah, but your kids and dogs and cats can't take you home. They can't. Your kids, dogs, and cats cannot purify you. Your kids, dogs, and cats cannot give you the power you need to remain unaffected. Why would you not want to study with God? It's bizarre when you hear it, but you're witnessing it with your eyes. All these people who say, I don't want to come, I'm not ready to give up my drugs, whatever. That's what I say. Everybody's an addict. And we reverse the addiction by becoming addicts. we're all Shiva addicts. And they're all bodily being addicts. But you know, your intellects have love for Shiv Baba. No one else knows the Father at all. Therefore, there are three armies. You are the Pandav army. This is the time of destruction. You know that death is just ahead of you. Shiv Baba says, when you become pure, you become the masters of the new world. In the Golden Age, there was just the one deity religion. There were no other religions. Now, all the other religions exist, but the original eternal deity religion doesn't exist. They do not consider themselves to be deities. They say we are impure. They go and sing his praise in front of the deity idols. You are full of all virtues, 16 celestial degrees full, whereas they say of themselves that I am vicious. I am without virtue. I have no virtues. They remember the Father. Because of that, they remember the Father. You also have to remember the one Father. Without remembering the Father, you cannot become pure. That's it in a nutshell. It's so easy to understand. But everybody wants to do everything in the Laukic world that breaks that remembrance. In that case, you would not be able to claim a high status. So that's what happens. You can't get upset or disturbed. Why don't you want to claim a high status? The obvious answer is, I never claimed it before. It's like, there can only be peace in the world when this impure world is destroyed. People try to have peace in Bharat and in the world, but that is the task of the one Father alone. Human beings are vicious. How can they establish peace? There is fighting in every home. Because of not knowing the Father, they have become complete orphans. In the Golden Age, they were completely pure, and there was peace and happiness. The Father is now once again establishing purity, peace, and happiness. No one else can do that. People of Bharat are now the residents of hell. When they resided in heaven, they took rebirth in heaven. They are now impure, which is why they remember the purified Father and why they have to take rebirth in hell. You children now understand that it is only by remembering the Father from beyond this world that your sins will be absolved. You receive a limited inheritance from your worldly Father, whereas you are now claiming an unlimited inheritance from the unlimited Father from beyond this world. That is the path of devotion, whereas this is the path of knowledge. You have the happiness that Baba's making you into the residents of heaven. Those who became the residents of heaven in the previous cycle will become so again. See, this is such a golden key, the golden key of soul conscious detachment. If you could actually get to that stage, you could see the truth of everything. And you could even see the truth of your wrong attitudes, wrong motives, pain, fear, desire. You could see the truth of that. And that's why you have to master lesson one. And everyone says, yeah, I'm soul conscious because they know about soul consciousness. It has nothing to do with knowing about it. I mean, you need to know about it. You have to have such a deep experience of the realization of the soul. It makes you stop thinking about matter and people. And very few people want to be that self-realized because they get scared. They feel they're alone. Yeah, you're alone with God. That's so terrible. It's the cure to be alone with God. You cannot become deities without first becoming Brahmins. These matters have to be understood. At present, there are no degrees of purity in Bharat, and you can only get the knowledge as the mouth-born progeny of Brahma. So that's why you can't get this knowledge without becoming Brahmins through Brahma. No one knows anything. All are sleeping in the sleep of Kumbhakarna. They're sleeping in the sleep of Kumbhakarna, and that sleep is making them into sheep. The Father has now awakened you. You have now come here to become the residents of heaven. No one but the Father can make you that, right? And that's kind of like nobody hears it the way we hear it, but you heard the expression, it's like taking lambs to slaughter. Lambs are sheep. Well, how come lambs are being taken to slaughter? Because they're sheep. They just blindly follow and get influenced by people instead of by God. If they would follow the shepherd wouldn't take them for slaughter. You follow the farmer, that's another story. No one but the Father can make you that. That golden age is called heaven, and this iron age is called hell. As are the king and queen, so the subjects, all are now born through vice. And so Baba will then say, oh, the sheep, those ones who are like sheep, are innocent. They're too innocent to even know that the farmer is not the shepherd. Because the shepherd would never take you to something bad. Shepherd is saving you, guiding you. It's like the guru. As are the king and queen, so the subjects are all now born through vice. Deities never take rebirth through vice. You children promise the Father you will remain pure. Whilst moving along, you become defeated, and the income you had already earned is totally lost. You are hurt very badly. Those who become amazed on hearing this knowledge and who relate it to others then ran away. Although they have visions, there's a lot of disturbance by Maya in these visions. So the vision is one thing, and it's given by God, as he says. But what you do with the vision is based on whether you're in Maya over the vision. So proud of it, so attached to it. Just as people cause such interference in radio wavelengths, radio frequencies, that it cannot be heard. You see that in modern warfare, signal jammers to knock down the enemy's communication. It is the same here. Maya creates obstacles in yoga. The whole effort lies in yoga. It is the same here. Maya creates obstacles in yoga. She jams your signal. The whole effort lies in yoga. The ancient yoga of Bard is remembered. Acha, you sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning. From the mother, father, Baptata, the spiritual father says namaste to you spiritual children. And
The spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father.
S and for done. Have true love for the one Father and become true Pandavas. Death is just ahead of you. If death is just ahead of you, you're not going to waste your last moments being attached to people. You should be preparing for death. Therefore, become pure and the masters of the pure world. Number 2, conquer lust, the greatest enemy, which causes sorrow from its beginning through the middle to the end, and become pure. Remove the alloy of vices with remembrance and make yourself, the soul,
Pure.
remove the alloy of vices with remembrance and make yourself, the soul,
Pure.
golden aged, pure. Blessing. May you uplift others by transforming karmic bondages into relationships and remain aware of your birth in which you have died alive. Because this is the birth in which you have died alive, your family relationships of karmic bondages are now the basis of your relationships for service. Whilst following Srimat, it is not a karmic bondage. See, it's subtle. And that's why people don't get Samban versus Bandhan, because to know the difference, you'd have to actually be in the experience of being a karma yogi. And when Baba's present in your mind and intellect, how do you interact with matter that's different than when he's not? Then you would understand why your karma is creating karmic bondage. That's the magic of remembrance, of Baba's company. It immunizes you from the effect of matter and people. It's not a karmic bondage, but a relationship of service. So you're with people not to settle karma, even though you're settling karma. Because if you have the thought, oh, I'm just here to settle my karma with them, you're creating karma. So there's no point. Just play your part, detached instrument. And in following Baba Srimat, which part of that is to do service with them, your karma will be settled. But you can't have the ego of, I'm settling my karma, and then think you're settling your karma. If you move along whilst doing service with the knowledge of the variety of souls, you'll then not be distressed by any bondages. Moreover, instead of feeling hatred or dislike against the law for spiritual people, for extremely sinful souls and souls who harm others, you can't even hate them, ones who cause harm. Be merciful and do service with feelings of mercy, considering it to be a relationship of service. Om Shanti.